there lived a mischievous cat named Milo. With a coat as black as midnight and eyes as green as fresh spring leaves, Milo was the perfect combination of playful and curious. He had a personality that could light up the room, and he especially loved one thing more than anything else: playing games. Milo's human, a kind young woman named Emma, was his best friend. They spent their days together, playing with toys, napping on the couch, and having long chats while Emma worked at her desk. But there was one game that Milo loved most of all: hide and seek. It all started one rainy afternoon when Emma had to work from home. She sat in front of her computer, typing away at a report, but Milo, as usual, was feeling a little restless. He wasn't in the mood to chase a ball or bat at his toys. Instead, he decided he wanted something more exciting, something that would involve both of them. And so, as he often did when he had an idea, he looked at Emma with his big green eyes, then darted off into the living room. "Where did you go, Milo?" Emma called, looking around the room. She thought she had caught sight of him running past the couch, but now she wasn't sure. Milo had always been quick, and he liked to disappear into the nooks and crannies of the house, especially when he was in the mood for a game. Emma's eyes widened as she realized what was happening. Milo wasn't just wandering off, he was hiding. A smile spread across her face. She loved how clever he was, and, without hesitation, she decided to play along. "I see how it is," she said with a playful tone. "You want to play hide and seek, don't you?" Milo meowed in response, his tail twitching with excitement. Emma got up from her desk, her eyes scanning the room. She had to find him. At first, the game seemed simple. Milo, with his sleek black fur, was hiding behind the living room curtains, barely peeking out from behind the fabric. Emma spotted him immediately, but she didn't give it away. Instead, she put on a dramatic act, looking around the room as though she had no idea where he was. "Milo, where are you? Come out, wherever you are," she called, acting surprised. Milo's eyes twinkled, and he gave a soft meow, knowing that Emma had found him but still enjoying the attention. He was always proud of his hiding spots, but that wasn't enough for Milo. As soon as Emma took a few steps toward the curtains, he darted out from behind them, running into the kitchen with lightning speed. Emma gasped, "Hey, no fair." She had no idea how he managed to move so quickly without her noticing. In the kitchen, Milo took refuge behind the fridge, slipping into a narrow space that Emma rarely used. She followed him, but by the time she reached the kitchen, Milo was already hiding in a new spot. Under the dining table, crouching low to the ground, his green eyes glowing from beneath the tablecloth. Emma had to laugh. "You're getting better at this," she said. She leaned over and peered under the table, but Milo wasn't there anymore. In a flash, he was under the sofa in the living room, peeking out just enough for Emma to catch a glimpse of his tail. He was relentless in his game, always moving from one hiding place to another, keeping Emma on her toes. At first, Emma tried to follow him quietly, trying to anticipate where he would go next, but that only made the game more challenging. Milo was too quick, darting from one place to another with ease. She knew that she needed to get smarter if she wanted to win. Emma decided to change her approach. She sat down on the floor and pretended to give up. She sighed loudly and said, "Oh well, I guess I'll never find you, Milo. You're just too good." For a moment, there was silence. Then, she heard a soft thud. She looked up just in time to see Milo dart from his hiding spot under the table, running toward the hallway. The game had become a full-fledged hide-and-seek tournament, with no clear winner. Emma and Milo both enjoyed it thoroughly, each trying to outsmart the other. Milo's fast reflexes and clever hiding places were a challenge for Emma, but she was determined not to let him win. Finally, after what felt like hours of running, hiding, and searching, Emma had an idea. She decided to set a little trap. She knew Milo couldn't resist jumping into his favorite armchair by the window. It was his usual resting spot, where he loved to curl up and nap in the sun. So, Emma quietly moved a few cushions around, creating a cozy little nest in the chair, making it look like the perfect hiding spot. She waited patiently, hoping that Milo would fall for it. Sure enough, after a few minutes, She saw him sneak past the kitchen, his green eyes scanning the room for a new place to hide. He paused when he saw the armchair, and after a few moments of hesitation, he padded over to it, jumped up, and nestled into the cushions. Emma couldn't hold back her laughter. "Gotcha!" she cried, rushing over to the chair. Milo looked up with a startled meow, but then his eyes softened, and he let out a contented purr, realizing that the game had ended. Emma sat beside him, rubbing his soft fur and smiling at how clever her little cat was. "You're the best at hide and seek, Milo," she said, picking him up and holding him close. "You know, I think you've won this round." Milo purred louder, as though in agreement, and snuggled up to Emma, clearly happy to have played such a fun game. Emma smiled, realizing that no matter how many games they played, she'd never tire of spending time with Milo, the clever cat who could turn an ordinary afternoon into a day full of laughter and joy. And so, Milo's love for hide and seek continued. It was their special game, a way to bond and create memories. Milo never stopped finding new places to hide, and Emma was always there, ready to search for him, no matter where he went.